Factor Uncensored, a dispute, get this, between a husband and wife is going viral on Reddit website. According to the post, listen closely, a woman's husband puts a lock on the bedroom door every day for 2 hours. A lock on the bedroom door every day for 2 hours. Apparently those hours are for solitude, quiet time for him. But his wife says locking himself in a room could be a problem if there's an emergency. Tonight, we want to know how to set those boundaries in a relationship and if that's a good idea and the guy's a jerk. Therapist Dr. Angela Jones is here. So that's a whole padlock on the door.
It's a whole lock.
That means I don't want to see you for 2 hours.
It's kind of extreme, right? So I come home from work, I need a whole 2 hours, and I'm going to lock you out and don't bother me. And whatever you got going on, I'm leaving you to fend for yourself. You know, the part of the story that really disturbed me was that there was an emergency, and she was banging on the door and he wouldn't open the door, and she had to go next door to get a ride to the hospital. So to me, honestly, the problem with this story, the main problem is the lack of reciprocity, right? I want alone time too. So if you want alone time, that's cool. You can have your time. There's no problem. But make sure that it's reciprocated in the same way. And it just doesn't seem that way, especially in this situation.
Well, what if you have your alone time at the same time and you go to your separate corners of the house?
That's fine. As long as
convenient.
Absolutely. Who's going to watch the kids? Okay. Maybe we could send them next door. But if we agree on, okay, our boundary is we need some time by ourselves, which every couple needs time by themselves. It is about how you deliver it. And it is about reciprocity. You don't want to say it's only for me and not for you. Well, I know you've been home all day with the kids and I went to work, so I deserve it more than you, which is kind of what this story kind of seemed like. And it's just not, it's not fair, but it's also a sign of disrespect and neglect.
Do you think that relationship could be in trouble with anyone who demands 2 hours to themselves each day with extreme measures of law? That means I do not want to see your face. I don't want your presence around me.
You know, so if I wanted to play the devil's advocate, why is it that he asked for, even if it is 2 hours or even 30 minutes, that tells me that she has disrespected his boundary so many times he felt like he had to go to that extreme. And if she asked for alone time, she would want him to honor that as well. So if he had to go to the extreme and put in a padlock on the door, to me, that is kind of telling another story there, that she doesn't respect his boundaries. She doesn't respect the fact that he may be tired. But again, if you continue to read this story, after he wakes up, he goes and plays games. So he doesn't even spend time with the family. So, I mean, their whole situation is messed up. But in reality, in, I guess, quote unquote, normal relationships and marriages, just talk to your partner. Just say, like, I need a little bit of time to wind down, get my mind together so I can be present for the family and present for you tonight. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And
as a partner, if the other partner is not willing to come halfway and to the table and talk to you about this situation, what should you do?
You know,
and if you're bothered by it,
I mean, it's important to understand why they're bothered by it. Is it because they don't feel like they get the same? Is it because they feel like they're getting cheated out of something? I think it is important to have a conversation to understand, why are you bothered by this so much? I want to give you the same thing. Tell me what you need. And I think that conversation will go okay. But usually the bothering is because of insecurities, or there's like some trust issues or something wrong in the relationship in the first place.
And so how do you resolve that? Do you sit down? Do you go to a counselor like yourself? Do you have that conversation face to face? It sounds like this guy wouldn't be, I mean, he's like, that's more time I'm giving you.
Right. In this story, I don't think he cares. Honestly, I just think
he's checked out.
He's checked out. He does not care about the well-being of her or the kids at all. He only is caring about himself and what is important to him. Work, nap, and gaming. That's really all it was. But for the couples that do care about each other, just talk to each other. Don't argue. Have a sit-down, calm environment. Talk about what it is that you need. And, I mean, emphasize, like, if I have this, I'll be a better partner for you, too. So, you know, you got to make it beneficial for both parties.
All right, Dr. Angela Jones, padlock. That is something else. I need my 2 hours. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you follow us on social media. You can catch